Concern Nyeri. Anybody who has something that concerns this region. So all of you are just asking that one question.
Mine is a national matter,
Okay.
from last year.
Okay, you introduce yourself.
Yes. Kamau Mwangi, Citizen TV Nyeri.
Correct.
And my question goes to both yourself and the IG.
Yeah.
Last year, there was this man or gentleman was arrested for perpetuating crimes against women in the Kware murders from last year.
Yes.
Where are we with that? Where is Collins Tumaisi? He's not been found to date, and is Kware still an active crime scene?
Tumaisi, it was another name.
He had two accomplices.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
You're saying the accomplices. Thank you for asking that question, because I forgot earlier. The other problem we have in Nyeri is gender-based violence. Gender-based violence and cases of defilement. They are also very high. And it's a matter of great concern because it's perpetuated by family members, close relatives. These cases also of gender-based violence, including sexual offenses, is also linked to this alcohol and drug abuse. And again, we are encouraging the society not to keep quiet in terms of dealing with these issues. They must speak out. Gender-based violence is a matter of great concern. You will hear us in the venue when we are discussing today. Our encouragement is to our local chiefs and assistant chiefs to make sure that this is not being normalized in some communities, but others are being called to resolve that problem of gender-based violence and say that, families have agreed. Defilement happens and then they say families have agreed. This is something we must not accept and we must not normalize. On the question of, and that's why there is a pending question about the suspect who was arrested in Nairobi linked to the cases of femicide at the Embakasi Kware dam site, or a dam site there near the quarry. And it's regrettable that the guy escaped from custody and that is still at large together with the accomplices, and the police are still pursuing. It's notable that two newspaper adverts were put into circulation to see if any citizen or any person has any knowledge about their whereabouts. It is our expectation that they be found, established where they are, dead or alive. It is of great concern. I see some people who want to score cheap political points out of this very heinous act. It's something that we take seriously. Remember that the president, even pursuant to that incident, established a task force to look at the issues of femicide in the country, and the report is ready. We should be able to present its findings, most of its findings related to some of the things I talked about: society, investigations, early warnings, communication. It's also very sad that many people have their loved ones, they don't talk with their loved ones for months, and they never ask themselves where they are, they never report. Of course, a number of cases are reported, but part of the reasons why these things are not napped also in good time is failure to report in good time cases of missing persons, particularly some of these characters who are targeting women. So we are on course. We continue pursuing where they are. They are not the only criminals who are at large. Some of other suspects, National Police Service is pursuing about robbery violence, among others. Sometimes they go underground. Sometimes also you'll find that they may be dead. But we must find out where they are, whether it's dead or alive.
Yeah, because Waziri, the question is, for how long do the families of these loved ones have to wait until they get the justice that they deserve?
We cannot put timeline on something that we have absolutely no control as to where they are. If it was an issue where the National Police Service knew that somebody is sitting there and they are saying investigation is not going, it would have been an issue. But somebody who is running and we are pursuing, by all means, we must take the shortest time possible based on the circumstances and based on the circumstances of every case to make sure that they are apprehended. And we really need public support. We want to ask Kenyans if it's even possible for us to put another advert, we can do so. and ask as many Kenyans as possible to help us with information on its whereabouts, so that we can, and their accomplices. And even if they, for whatever reason, they are still not alive, somebody should tell us about the same.
Maybe we hear from the IG in terms of whether the place is still a crime scene. If that's okay, was it?
The answer is the same. Yeah, the answer does. Actually, it's the one who gave me the answer to read in Parliament. So the answer is the same. I don't get my answers from any other source. Any other question? I'll conclude with your question. So I will not forget. I'm not forgetting.
One last question. My name is Nancy Mulu from the Daily Nation newspaper. It's been a year since the Hillside and the Russia accident that saw 21 beings perished. We have not heard anything from the government. No report. What is going on?
I would be lying to tell you. I'd be lying to tell you that I am aware of the where the report is at the moment. It would be something I would try to find out. The investigations was instituted and it was coordinated by the Ministry of Education because it was an education issue. But of course, the National Police Service are involved and multi-agency level of involvement. Maybe then, based on your question, we can either find out before the forum starts, and then how far it is. I can call my colleague in education, and we can consult also with the IG so that during the forum I can answer your question. So I hope that you will be there for me to make a better informed clarification during the Jukwaa Usalama forum. There was an somewhere here. Yeah.
In the issue of the fight against this, actually. The issue of the liquor crisis in Board is actually within the country.
Yes.
You perhaps coming up with a regulation or other working out within the counties. The county has said this mention that
you tighten that issue. A lot of what is happening with alcohol now is about enforcement. I am very happy that this is one of the counties, together with Nyandarua, that have a very good law. You can't fault the county assembly or the county government on the legislation. This county established way back very good legislation about licensing. And they have been very strict in terms of licensing. I have been briefed today that the licenses there are about 17 bars. Is it Nakada? 17 bars that have only been licensed in this county. The only sad story is that there are many bars that are operating without license. So the issue is to have a joint enforcement between the counties themselves, because they have an enforcement department of the counties with the help of the police officers and the security team and NACADA to close these bars. Something I didn't even say earlier, which it's important for me to say, is that in part of the areas where there is proliferation of also adulterated alcohol or alcohol that is substandard or so, it can't happen without the collusion of also local security agencies. So there is usually a failure somewhere by the OCS or a chief or a national government official. So we have what we have done, and what the IG has done, is to reorganize to every other time to reorganize the police officers pursuant to the intelligence information that comes out from the citizens on those who are colluding with these unscrupulous business people to allow these adulterated alcohol to be sold, especially ethanol. So we are dealing with our own officers also. Some are being taken through disciplinary procedures. Some where we cannot really find clarity as to how they were involved are transferred or to go and perform other duties, especially those who we may not have proper evidence that they committed something, but where there is laxity on their part, they can be redeployed to go and do something else. I guess we have answered those questions. On your question about security at the airport, the National Police Service is always alert to ensure that they protect our critical installation. The Jomo Kenyatta International Airport has a fully-fledged commander in charge of all the airports in the country. He's based there, but also we have airport police that take care of our airports across the country. It's important for every citizen when they travel or they come back to observe the law, to observe the rules that apply in the use of our airport, and not just airport, the roads, everywhere. Everybody needs to be observant in terms of the law. You are the one who has informed me that there is a heavy deployment. I was not also aware. But generally, police, even the IG doesn't have to know about a deployment in a particular place. The National Police Service is decentralized, and everybody will do their job unless they are seeking for specific requests from the IG that there is need for enforcement. The IG will be informed. But the IG generally, everybody everywhere, a police officer everywhere doesn't have to call the IG before they do law enforcement. They can do their job and report to the IG through the required channels. So I must assure Kenyans that National Police Service is always on alert to make sure that any person or any incident that is going to lead to breach of peace is addressed according to the law, so that Kenyans can continue pursuing their political or social or economic objectives in a peaceful environment. I'm very happy to be here. You know, this is my second home, so I'm around. Thank you very much.
Asante.